Half a second. That's how long it takes to blink your eyes on a bad day. And with the new BMW M340i being just half a second behind the all-new M3 in the run to 100 kmph from standstill, we're talking 4.4 seconds here. You've got to ask yourself if you'd even need an M3 at all.
Sure, this might not be a full-blown M, but I really don't know how you're going to be able to use any more than this on our roads. Diving right into the technicalities, B58 3-litre inline 6 uses a twin-scroll single turbocharger, and in this application it's been tweaked. A lot of cooling enhancements, a little bit of extra power up to nearly 400 PS and 500 Newton meters of torque, which represents a healthy increase over the 330i, the other petrol currently in the range.
Speaking specifics for a quick second, the M340i's 387 PS and 500 Newton meters puts it in the middle of the 3 Series lineup and just under the wildcard M2 competition's 410 PS and 550 Newton meters, though that car is rear-wheel drive only, whereas the M340i we get in India pairs that with a ZF Source 8-speed auto with launch control and that all-important xDrive all-wheel drive and an M Sport rear differential.
Now, it's not uncommon for these high horsepower cars to feel completely out of their breath on these kind of roads, you know, these tight winding country roads, the ones that can really be a lot of fun without you needing to go very fast. And the M340 feels perfectly at home here. It's got that strong slug of torque available from down low. I mean, you feel the boost building at 1600 RPM, and it stays strong. It stays proper strong. Spec sheet says that it peaks at about 5000 RPM, but this thing revs out to nearly 7000 RPM, and trust me, it doesn't feel like it lets off at any point. No, the definition of a sleeper is, of course, a car that kind of takes you by surprise with its performance, especially when you look at its exteriors. And if you spec it in a less shouty color than this sunburst orange, and you activate launch control, it takes off. It takes off.
Our tested 4.4 second run to 100 kmph is impressive, as are the roll-on figures, but what's even more impressive are the fuel efficiency figures we managed in the M340i, really cementing its everyday usability. The M340i only adds subtle touches like the cerium grey highlights outside and the M-specific touches inside without messing with the immense practicality, comfort and space of the G20 3 Series. It's even been fitted with the same somewhat plain looking 18-inch wheels as the regular car, and that's a downer, though 19s are optional extras.
The whole car just comes together around you with such grace, such fluidity. I mean, I'm being ham-handed and the car is just pulling itself together around me. It's brilliant. It's just brilliant what this chassis and this drivetrain are capable of. What I absolutely love about the 340i is just how playful it lets you get. And the best part is that the electronics help you rein it in. So there absolutely is no way for you to overcook it unless you're being really stupid. This thing is so much fun. While I really feel that the steering's better than what's on the Z4, which felt quite artificial, that's not to say that this is completely brimming with feedback either. It's acceptable, and the good thing is this chassis just feels so strong that you feel what the car is saying through the seat of your pants rather than your palms. That's not entirely a bad thing, especially since there's so much feedback even coming in through the brake pedal. You can feel it when it's right on the limits of adhesion and it's quite far down. This M340i occupies a very unique place in the whole BMW lineup because it's a BMW sedan. It's been worked on by M Performance, but it has xDrive all-wheel drive, which sort of makes it like the M5 in a way. It's also got a clutch pack in the middle of the car to help send some torque to the front, pull you out of sticky situations, and it definitely does help, especially those times when you feel like you're going to overcook it. Of course, the electronics don't let you do that, but it's also sending part of the front wheels to just kind of pull you out, settle the balance of the car. What also contributes to this car's just beautiful poise and agility on its feet is really the fact that they haven't gone overboard with the tires. They're reasonably sized. Of course, anything under a 50 section profile is asking for trouble on our roads, but these don't feel like they're too wide. They just feel like they're the right size for the amount of power and torque that this car produces. So when you do really plant your foot down, it shows you that it's up for fun. And the way it helps you just bring it back all in line, it makes you feel like you're the best driver in the world. Versus the regular 3 Series, they have made changes to the suspension setup of this car. The rear especially, a couple of fancier components in its 5-link setup. And while we did feel that the regular 3 Series has a beautiful blend of ride comfort and handling, I think the balance that the M340 sets out to achieve is actually pretty livable with. The flip side is that over regular roads there is quite a bit of movement inside the car, but this car not having M adaptive dampers or adaptive dampers of any sort really, I think is the biggest flaw in the package. It does feel kind of stiff and you do feel quite unsettled at low speeds. It does get better as the speeds increase, but adaptive dampers would have just sealed the deal perfectly. When you drive this car in comfort, you're probably going to feel that the gearbox isn't the quickest, and it's not. It's very, very tuned towards efficiency. It's swapping cogs so early that you probably find yourself in 7th or 8th, as low as about 80 kilometers per hour. But when you take manual control via the paddles, you realize just how manic this gearbox is, and of course, it's super smooth at low RPMs, but it can be pretty quick when you want it to. Sport and Sport Plus really, really do bring out the character of this car. Comfort just feels way too docile. Sport Plus gives you those shifts that kind of push your head back into the seat. Sport and Sport Plus also open that little flap in the exhaust that just makes the car sound a little more gruff, give it a little more of a voice. There is quite a bit of electronic acoustics in there as well, with quite a bit of volume coming in through the speakers.
Honestly, if you're looking for a pure driver's car which isn't an SUV, under a crore of rupees, the M340i's only real competition is BMW's own M2 competition. Viewed as a more livable with alternative with 5 doors, the M340i makes perfect sense, and with BMW assembling it in India, pricing will hopefully be another reason to pick it.